Hello and welcome to Provoking Tech. I'm Zach, and in today's video I'm going to be continuing my series on the STEM gift guides, and today's video is going to have a focus on electronics and robotics. So without further delay, let's go ahead and jump right to the first pick. Alright, so my first pick is pretty much perfect for anyone interested in hobby electronics. From beginners to more experienced individuals just looking to expand their horizons, and that is the Addabox subscription from Adafruit. This is a quarterly subscription, so if you want to look at it on like a monthly basis, that's $20 per month, and it is great value for what you're getting. Each quarterly box follows a certain theme, and so the products and the components within that box are designed to set up several different projects that kind of follow that theme and kind of teach you more about the world of hobby electronics. Looking at Adafruit as a whole, you'll really see why I think the Addabox is such a great high value product. Just hovering over their Learn tab, for instance, you'll see a wide array of project guides. And even if you have a project idea that might not follow one of these project guides 100%, you can definitely take bits and pieces from these project guides, and that'll definitely help you out, especially if you're trying something new, whether that be, controlling a stepper motor or working with a wireless network. I'm just going to go ahead and click on one of the newer Addaboxes and just kind of walk you through what you could see if you actually had purchased one of these. You can see the entire list of everything that is included in this Addabox, and then you can see that there is a link to the Learn page for this Addabox. So you can see there's always going to be a getting started, which will kind of go over the base components, how all that works inside of this box. But you also have the listing of the different projects for this Addabox. And just following through one of these, you can actually just do this even if you hadn't purchased the box. You can go to that project guide. You can go to the Build It tab. You can see all the components that you would have needed, and these are the same project guides that you would have been able to go through on the Learn tab. Buy those all the products and the components required, and then just follow this guide to tell you how to build it. Very detailed, a lot of pictures, very picture orientated. Then you have the code. They have all the code available for this project, so you can just copy and paste it into your project. And then you can really take what you're learning as they're going over the code and everything, and take that knowledge and really start to make the project your own by making your own little modifications here and there. And that's where I really think the Addabox is going to have such great value, whether you're a beginner or just someone that does have some detailed knowledge about hobby electronics and just want to learn more and kind of expand your horizons. Alright, so since I essentially started this video by jumping off into the deep end of hobby electronics with the vast potential of the Addabox, I'm going to dial things back a couple notches now and start talking about snap circuits. The product that I have actually linked here is going to be the Snap Circuits Junior, which is a great way to really get into electronics as a very basic level. You can see here that this kit will teach you about the basics of circuits, like buttons and switches and everything along those lines, and how the basics of circuits work. As whoever you're buying this kit for kind of grows and learns more, there's actually upgrade kits. So you can take the Junior kit right here and upgrade to the Pro or Extreme and have access to a lot more different components and build more complex products. And this is a great way to really get into electronics before you dive into something like the Addabox, where you're actually using actual microcontrollers. You can take it as on a super simple step. They say ages 7 and plus, but with someone a little bit older, I definitely think you could introduce this at a much younger age. And with the upgrade kits, it's definitely something that you can continue to build upon as the person you're buying this for's knowledge kind of expands and grows. And there's kind of a little accessory kits too you can buy with light and sound. So it's definitely a well designed product, and it is something that you can kind of grow with their knowledge. And as they kind of learn the basics of electronics and basics of circuits, then that'd be a great time to later introduce the Addabox at that point in time. Another product I wanted to highlight real quick is the Makey Makey. I'm not going to talk about this product too much because it is kind of costly for what it is and what it does. but it is a cool way to interface with your computer. And if you're interested in making a simple custom like controller input for some reason or another for your computer, this could be an easy way to do that. But it is, once again, kind of costly for what it is and what it does, but I did want to highlight it as it is another interesting way to kind of learn a little bit more about electronics. Moving on to the robotics portion of this video, I do have a handful of picks, but I'm going to go ahead and begin by talking about the Go box from Dexter Industries and the MBot from MakeBlock. The reason I'm talking about these two at the same time is because there are a lot of similarities between what these two products are offering, but there are some pretty big distinctions between the two. So I wanted to go ahead and compare and contrast the two at the same time so you can kind of pick the best product for what you're looking for. Just to begin, the MBot on pricing, it's considerably cheaper than what you're going to get with the Go box robot subscription. The Go box has a $180 upfront fee, then a $16 per month monthly fee for their subscription for 11 months. But this monthly fee does include additional component hardware to expand the functionality of your robot. But just for the base cost, you are over double the cost of the MBot just for the base part of the Go box kit. The base functionality of these two robots is quite similar, and both the Go box robot as well as the MBot robot do allow extra and added functionality. The Go box handles that through their monthly subscription in the form of missions, whereas the MBot does have an add-ons packs that you can purchase to add to the capabilities of your robot. In terms of how far the instructions go, I have read through some of the instructions on both websites. Some of the instructions are limited. For example, the Go box instructions to their missions you can't access unless you actually purchase them. So I haven't been able to read through everything, but the Dexter Industries does seem to do a lot better job in their instructions, and they do seem to be much more thorough and complete, and definitely will help you throughout the process, it seems, on a deeper level. So if you're looking for something that's going to be more beginner friendly, I do think the Dexter Industries Go box will be more well suited for that, whereas the MBot, it seems to be a little bit more open-ended, but definitely both have well-written documentation. It just seems that the Dexter Industries goes the extra mile with their Go box instructions. The final point I wanted to talk about between the MBot as well as the Go box robot is how you'll actually program and control your robot. Both robots are actually on pretty equal footing here because both use a custom visual programming language. If you've never heard the term visual programming language, you might have heard of Scratch, which is a commonly and widely used visual programming language. If all that is foreign words to you, then this animation right here actually does a very good job of illustrating what a visual programming language is. You essentially will choose a block of code, and you will set a couple different conditions for that block of code, and then that'll actually dictate what your robot will actually do. This is great because with a more traditional programming language, you'll actually have to learn the syntax, which is actually how you declare variables, how you use different loops. Whereas with a visual programming language, you essentially choose a block of code that'll kind of handle all that in the background, and you just tell it what you want to do through the conditions you set. And this will really teach you the basics and the fundamentals of programming, such as how to use variables and how to set different conditions and how to use different loops, such as there are loops that will only exit if a certain condition has been met, or loops that will only exit after a certain number of iterations. So it kind of lets you learn the basics and the fundamentals of programming without having to get down to the dirty and learn all the syntax and all the nitty-gritty parts of what makes the more traditional programming languages quite tricky. In addition, both robots actually allow you to continue to grow and advance your programming skills by moving to a more traditional programming language after you have mastered the basics through one of their visual programming interfaces. With the MBot, since it has the Arduino at the core, you will be able to use the Arduino IDE, which will allow you to program in C to continue to advance the capabilities of your robot. For the GoPi-Go, which is actually the robot that is the core for the Go box, once you have mastered their visual programming interface, which they call Blockster, you can move on to Python, which is actually used in a lot of different Raspberry Pi projects. So my final two picks are definitely more common and widely known products, but I didn't feel that this list would be complete without these two picks, so I went ahead and included them in, but I'm not going to dig too deep into them simply because there is so much information that people have done deep dives into these two different products. So like I said, I'm not going to go too deep into them, but I did just want to include them into my list. The first of which is Lego Boost Creative Toolbox, and the second of which, of course, is Lego Mindstorms. Besides the huge cost differential between these two products, the main difference here is the Lego Boost is aimed more towards younger kids, whereas Lego Mindstorms are aimed more at younger kids as well as teenagers. So with that in mind, Lego Boost could be a great way to see if your kid that is in love with Legos could possibly be interested in robotics as well as programming before you drop the huge sum of cash required to buy and invest into Lego Mindstorms. Alright, so that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. Hopefully one of my picks is going to be the perfect gift for whoever you've been searching for and will definitely make their day. So if you found this video useful or you liked it, give it a big like. I greatly appreciate that. And also smash that subscribe button to stay tuned for more great videos from Provoking Tech. Until next time, Zach out.